He's 1,000. He's why you got Donald Trump, you fucking morons. This is why. Because he gave you a right-wing health care plan. Because he took us from 2 wars to 7 instead of the other way. He made the banks bigger while he kicked 5.1 million families out of their fucking house in the last economic crisis while doing nothing for people. He did nothing for Occupy Wall Street. He let people cops crack their heads. Did nothing for DAPL. Did nothing for anybody except Big Pharma, health insurance, the military-industrial complex. He did Libya. He tried to do Syria. He dropped so many bombs that the military ran out of bombs under Barack Obama. You know, he dropped more bombs than George Bush. This guy's a straight-up war criminal. His drone program killed 90% civilians. He killed an American citizen without a trial in another country on purpose, who was a child. And then they joked about it. And this is the guy who's going to fucking tell you that nobody's above the law. He's not only himself above the law, but he was the one who facilitated George Bush and all the torturers for being above the law. He did it personally.
In the immediate aftermath of 9/11, we did some things that were wrong. We did a whole lot of things that were right, but we tortured some folks.
And I'm not going to prosecute those people, but I will give a grandstanding, bullshitting, gaslighting speech in 8 years to keep people voting for their fucking oppressors, just like Barack Obama was.
The most popular question on your own website is related to this, on change.gov. It comes from Bob Furtick of New York City, and he asks, will you appoint a special prosecutor, ideally Patrick Fitzgerald, to independently investigate the gravest crimes of the Bush administration, including torture and warrantless wiretapping?
We're still evaluating how we are going to approach the whole issue of interrogations, detentions, and so forth. And obviously we're going to be looking at past practices. And I don't believe that anybody is above the law. On the other hand, I also have a belief that we need to look forward as opposed to looking backwards.
Boy, that's Barack Obama's way of saying no. That's how he says. He took the longest way possible to say no. I'm not going to appoint a special prosecutor to prosecute torturers and war criminals. No, why? Because he's looking forward. He doesn't want to look back. All those torture crimes happened in the past, and Barack Obama's looking towards the future. Doesn't that make you feel better to know that all your past crimes aren't prosecutable? Isn't that nice to know? I bet all those people in prison are pissed off they committed their crimes in the future. And there's George Stephanopoulos like, whoa, that's a good one. Looking towards the future. Because all those crimes happened in the past. Put a positive spin on overlooking war criminals. Not holding people accountable because they're powerful. Wow. He's just like, genius. You can see this kid's a genius. No wonder he beat Hillary Clinton. That's what he's thinking. Hey, should we do something about the past administration's war crimes? Nah, let's not get caught up in the day-to-day politics, huh? A mistake Obama made was not investigating, prosecuting, and legislatively correcting the Bush administration's crimes of torture, no-bid contracts, stop-loss conscription, Cheney arguing he was above the law, etc. It showed the GOP that they can do this and get away scot-free. Can I just tell that? First of all, I love that. That's why I'm showing this tweet. That's a lot of good stuff in there. But can I just correct one thing? It was not a mistake that Barack Obama made by not investigating, prosecuting, and legislatively correcting the Bush administration's crimes. That was not a mistake. A mistake is when you forget to put a stamp on a letter. That's a mistake. This was a conscious choice that Barack Obama made, that all presidents make, not to prosecute their predecessors because they don't want to be prosecuted when they leave office. So they want to make sure we're all above the law. That's what Barack Obama wanted. Believe me, they're not going to prosecute Donald Trump. If Joe Biden's president, the last thing they're going to do is prosecute Donald Trump. They're definitely above the law. And what they're doing is bullshitting you so they can get you to vote for your oppressor.
Because we've seen what you've had to say on the subject.
Now, this is an interview from 2010. So Barack Obama has barely been president for 2 years. Watch this.
How you regard Bush and Blair's record in the Middle East. Do you think Obama's no better?
In many ways, it's worse.
Why?
I've been writing about it. I started writing about it before the election.
Why is he worse?
Well, should we go through the details?
Please.
I like how the reporter laughs. He doesn't go, fuck, this guy who's obviously way smarter than me just said something that sounds ridiculous to me, so I guess I should investigate this instead of laughing at it. You're obviously interviewing him because he's one of the leading intellectuals in the fucking world.
Notice that this is the Nuremberg principles, not the trials.
But Obama would fare no better were those principles applied to him.
No, he's carrying out a major war in Afghanistan. He's supporting. He's directly involved in aggressive and criminal actions carried out by Israel, for example. He's only been in office for 2 years, so he hasn't a chance to invade anyone yet. But his record is quite consistent with what's happened before.
And after that, so he was already worse, according to Chomsky in many ways. That was before Barack Obama did Libya, turned Libya, the most successful state in Africa, into a failed state with open slave markets. Barack Obama did that. He ruined another country. You know how they did 9/11 in New York? He did that every day for a couple years in Libya. That's what Barack Obama did to Libya. Then he went on to do Syria. Tried to do another illegal war. And how did he do it? By funding ISIS, Al-Qaeda, terrorists to overthrow a sovereign state. Barack Obama also went on to have a drone program that killed 90% innocent civilians. That's just off the top of my head, the stuff that Barack Obama went on to do. Drop more bombs than George Bush. Dropped so many bombs, they ran out of bombs. The Obama administration may be guilty of war crimes. May be guilty of war crimes? I guess it just depends on your definition of guilty. American officials could be prosecuted for war crimes in Yemen. They won't, but, if this was a rational society or something, it could happen. Yeah, that was before Barack Obama did Yemen. Democrats can't win until they recognize how bad Obama's financial policies were. That's from the Washington Post. And considering most Democrats still think he walks on water, I won't hold my breath for this to happen. People still think he's FDR instead of what he was, Ronald fucking Reagan 2.0.